Hi, my name is Gado Kran, and you are welcome to the very first episode of the Digital Marketing Corner. On this show, we share insights and best practices on how businesses can get ahead utilizing sound digital marketing practices and strategies. We also keep you up to date of whatever is happening when it's come to the latest trends in digital marketing. And today on the Digital Marketing Corner, I'm going to speak with Bayode. Bayode is a paid campaign strategist. So what we call paid media strategist. He has a lot of experiences when it comes to digital advertising. So whether programmatic advertising, social media advertising, mobile marketing advertising, etc. And he used to work with Ausbrook, which used to be a local Ghanaian programmatic advertising agency. Work with Denchu Ages, specifically iProspect, and now with Cheil Worldwide. So nice to have you on the show, Bayode.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes. So I think that you will want to also tell our viewers your background and your experiences so far in terms of where you work and co.
Sure, that's fine. I guess you've covered most of it. My journey in digital marketing started in 2017, as you rightly mentioned, with Asbrook. Asbrook then was a startup advertising agency or advertising ad network, and it later grew with the number of clients we had. We grew into advertising agency where we handled everything, not just programmatic advertising. So we did a lot of social media marketing and the likes. So I'd say that was where I really learned digital. I was coming from a business background with my background in economics. So I really needed to start from the ground and build up. And that was where I got my feet in digital. So
that is good. So as a business person moving into digital marketing and digital advertising, how did you able to navigate that path? Because there are a lot of people watching us who want to pivot, who want to switch from their current background to digital marketing. How did you do it? They could learn from your experience.
First of all, I think the most important thing is the passion. I really wanted to be in that space. So blending the business background with the IT, I had to do a course with IPMC called Business Information Technology. That just introduced me to the basics of digital marketing, while still having the background in business. That's business for management. So that helped in the transition.
Oh, that's good. Okay,
but now things are much simpler. There are a lot of online courses that individuals can take for free and then get the whole concept of digital marketing, not necessarily going to pay for these courses.
Yes, I encourage people to do that. As a start, you could just be reading on blogs and co. Right, that will shape you and guide you. Okay, so far, what has been the experience?
So thankfully, with the different agencies I've worked with this being my third, I've worked across a lot of companies, each company having its own requirements or its own objectives. So that has brought along different challenges. So I've worked with telcos, with financial institutions, with educational institutions, basically a lot of companies. And that has helped broaden my knowledge because, of course, when there's a challenge, you need to find out who has worked on this before, or who you can team up with to get the problem resolved. So that has really built.
So, for example, you talked about challenges. Can you tell us maybe one or two of the challenges that you've faced so far?
So I would say my greatest challenge so far has been generating leads for a particular client they had seen a large number of intakes within a particular year, but then within the next year, the year we were working with them, they needed to see like a huge number of leads coming through. And at that point in time, there was a lot of political instability around. So that also further challenged us while setting up our ads, because we're setting up the ads, everything was working all right, but then we weren't getting the leads as planned.
Okay.
So I would say that has been my greatest challenge. However, we're able to refine, add a few more channels to increase the relevance of the ads, and then we got our targets.
Okay. I mean, for me, and I mean for our viewers also, what we've learned from your challenge so far is that when you are planning your digital marketing campaigns or activities, you need to take into consideration the political factors. So we have what we call PESEL, right? Political, economic, legal factors. All these things affect on how successful your activities or your campaigns will be, right? So that is one of the, things that I think that, we've learned from your challenges so far. Also, can you also share with us some of the tools that have been helpful in your journey in terms of project management tools that you utilize for your activities? At least top three.
That would be hard, but I would say the top three, or the top three I would go with would be the Facebook Business Manager. That's because of the convenience. It makes you manage everything in one place, multiple accounts and multiple campaigns within one particular space. I think that's pretty cool. I'm a lot into analytics and numbers, so Google Analytics follows next because it helps understand the consumer journey, especially if you're tracking for e-commerce campaigns or campaigns that really need to know exactly what your money is worth in terms of business. And then I'd say for social media management, I would go with either Sprinkler or Brand24, just basically to monitor conversations online, especially.
Okay, so in terms of brand listening, so Brand24, I think in the past years back, I've used Brand24. Sprinkler is new to me, and I think that for me, I'm learning. And I also encourage my viewers, and there's something that I always say, that digital marketing, you don't stop learning. You learn new things every day. New tools are emerging, new methodologies are emerging, new frameworks are emerging, and you need to make sure that you get accustomed to. Today we have performance marketing, we have growth marketing, all coming in, and it is good that you need to keep up at the pace. So my last question will be, so far in your experience so far working with iProspect, Cheil Worldwide, what do you think works when it's come to digital marketing? In this case, digital advertising, because that is your main space. And what do you think do not work when it's come to digital advertising? And what is the future of advertising as you see it?
So I would say what works is, right now within our markets, brands are gradually opening up to adopting digital marketing strategies within their marketing, digital marketing solutions within their marketing space, within their marketing channels. So basically, initially there was this hold back on digital because nobody really seemed to understand. So like a mystery cloud, nobody really understood what it entailed and how it could be beneficial to their businesses. But gradually within our market, it's opening up and people are beginning to appreciate digital marketing. This of course leads to people investing more in digital, so there's more budgets going into digital. And then I think the mobile technology is the best thing that has happened to the African market, because now we can tailor our ads to reach people directly on their mobile devices, and that's exactly what we don't have a lot of money to spend because of the nature of our market. And so ad relevance is key to us. So we get these messages.
So therefore, you're talking about mobile marketing. So making sure that you are targeting online users that you mainly access content on a mobile phone, right? To put it in that basic context.
Exactly. With the least cost involved. Okay, so in the paid media space, where are the channels that you think that is working most? Because now we have display,
we have search, we have social media, we have email marketing. All these things are paid advertising channels. What do you think that works best in the context of
So
Ghana?
I would say programmatic takes the lead in terms of the diversity, how well you can reach your niche audiences. There are so many layers you can use to target these people. So I'd say programmatic takes the lead, and gradually video advertising is taking over. So people are less attracted to static banners as used to be the case where people use display banners, and now video marketing is coming up. So TikTok advertising, social media marketing using video is gradually growing.
Oh,
So I'll say
okay.
programmatic followed by video advertising.
Okay.
Not to say the rest are not relevant, but in terms of engagements, I would say I would go with those two.
Okay. And what are the things that you think doesn't work that you've come to appreciate that this doesn't work?
So I'd say I think I'll generalize it. I'd say a lot of us, or personally, we don't really want to explore mainly because our budgets are limited. Okay, mainly because of limited budgets. But then digital marketing is quite complex. You need to do a lot of testing, which I think is missing in our market. You need to do a lot of testing, understand the system, and then run with what works.
Okay.
So
So,
I'd
I
say a
mean,
lot of us do not do that.
yeah. And I think that, I mean, with this, once we are also encouraging professionals to test, it is always good because I've always said that the key foundation of digital is that it is a continuous learning process. You test, iterate. And I will also say that beyond limited budget, companies must have the culture of experimentation.
Exactly.
Because in most instances, our assumptions might not be accurate. And the negative impact of that is that if you assume that Facebook is the go-to channel, it is an assumption that may not be accurate because you have not tested other channels. And it also means that it doesn't allow brands to be able to harvest data and generate sales or value from the different channels that exist. And I've always been making this thing that in Ghana, it looks as if in Ghana, if you survey a lot of digital marketers in enterprises, a lot of them, 90% of whatever they are doing is social media. So, and I think that sometimes it's also because the company that they are working, beyond the limited budget, they do not also create room for experimentation. And I think this is something that if you are watching me from an enterprise as an executive, you need to take into consideration that you need to allow the culture of experimentation for you to be able to come to a perfect understanding of what work at a certain stage. Because today you would think that a particular channel or a particular strategy is working, the next minute it may not be working because audiences are becoming very sophisticated day in and day out. Yeah, so I think that that is a good point. So at the ad agency level, especially when the pressure is on, it's on the fact that you need to yield result. You've gotten budget at the ad agency too. You're also seeking to make sure that you don't use all the budget because I'm sure some of the budget will also include your revenue and co. In your ad strategy, in your ad delivery strategy, do you even create room for one A/B testing? Look, this is the content that we need to promote. Let's create different variations of it from the design language, or let's create the video aspect, audio aspect. Let's serve it and see which one will work best. Look, let's try social media this time around. Let's try email. Let's do it. Let's see before. So in your campaign delivery, do you do this pre-testing at the initial stage, or you still think that even at the ad agency level it's still very difficult for you guys?
So to be honest, it is very difficult because you're working with limited budgets and then you're working with limited creatives. Don't forget, some of these companies, some of these clients, they have other agencies that produce the content for them, creatives for them. So if you're working with a particular creative, and we need another.
You mentioned that you did a campaign and the pidgin and the English one. So please summarize that aspect. Then we are done.
Okay, sure. Let me know when it's good to go.
We are ready.
Okay, so I think testing is very important because there was a campaign we ran a few months ago where we needed to test. We had one creative, but we needed to test what exactly would work. So we used two different copies. We used one copy in Pidgin and the other copy in English. And just as simple as that, we're able to tell that the copy that was promoted in Pidgin had more engagement. So testing doesn't really need to involve a lot of costs. It's just the little things that we need to know is working, and then we can run with that to make the campaign better.
I get it. And I also encourage companies, that's why I said, to create a room of experimentation. Even at the ad agency level, directors don't need to fear that why are you spending so much money to be doing test. I think testing is something that needs to be done, and it should form part of the advertising research that ad agencies must develop, so that once you are engaging with clients and you are acting on briefs, you act on them based on historical precedent and based on data, right? So Bayode, thank you very much, and it's been nice having you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
So this has been the Digital Marketing Corner. Kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel and listen to the audio podcast on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. See you.